Well, good evening, gang, and welcome to It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams, and I'm your host. And to my right and to your left, of course, is the lovely Valerie Eliason. Hi, Val.
Hey, Glenn.
How's everything going?
It's going well.
It's hot outside.
Oh, my gosh.
It's okay.
That's fine.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
We're coming to you live from our beautiful Studio B here at BNN-TV, and you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like. We're at 617-708-3290, which was a surprise to one of our guests tonight, so call often with questions. Well, I want to how are you doing? Everything's well?
Everything's going really well, yeah.
Good,
Had
good.
a nice, relaxing weekend.
How's Klaus? Is he okay? I understand he had a visit to the doctor.
He did just his little routine checkup to make sure, you know.
Does he need to lose weight?
You know, they did mention that.
He's huge.
They said stop giving him so many carrots.
This is a rabbit I'm talking about, folks.
So,
Right? He's a big boy.
I know.
Well, that's good. I want to tell you, we have a packed show tonight. We're very, very excited about tonight's show. We've got painters, we've got jewelry, we've got a great administrative, great museum.
Oh,
and did you know that he used to be the curator for the De Cordova
Yes.
Sculpture Museum.
We actually have a mutual friend we were chatting
Did
about
you?
before. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool.
They used to work there. It's a small world. The art world in Boston is a very small world.
It's a great unit of people, and I've been sitting in on several meetings with Boston Creates.
Yes, with the
Boston
mayor,
Creates.
right?
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of planning and a lot of different, visiting different communities around the city, talking about what the arts are missing here in the city, and I think that they're going to do a great job on bringing a lot of those communities who are working on islands around the city together.
Yes.
We're going to be able to collaborate on different projects, share some of our successes with each other, and I think that's something that's been missing here in the city. I mean, there's so many little open studios, for instance, and so many little arts associations around that now it's going to be kind of like this opportunity to say, someone from Somerville or somebody from, it's not just Boston, it's going to be surrounding areas as well. But someone from JP, maybe, for instance, tried to run a program and had some difficulties, but it was okay in Charlestown. So we're going to be able to mesh some of that information together and really, learn something from each other. It's going to be great.
Well, I mean, if you're on the board, of course, it's going to be great.
I'm very proud to be appointed to that. I'm one of the co-chairs, and it's kind of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see more how it evolves over the summer.
It's going to be very cool. And speaking of that, August 1st, we're going to have a big tent and everything at Adams Park.
Okay.
For the great farmers market down there from the Rosnell Village Main Streets. And we're going to be inviting people to come and sit and talk about their experiences in the arts around the city. What's missing, what they'd like to see added. And I'm going to bring education into it.
Okay.
I really want people to kind of voice their opinion as far as what they think, the arts are going to do for improving our educational process here in the city.
Isn't very important. I'm proud of our city that we take so much responsibility to keep arts in the school systems, in private and in public.
Yeah, they're not doing a good enough job.
No,
I think that I talk to kids when I'm teaching over at the Boys and Girls Club, and I'll say, what did you do in your art class this week? And they'll say, well, I have gym this week instead. And I go, okay, everyone needs exercise and stuff, but I think we've got to either lengthen the day a little bit to make sure that we add those arts and humanities in the curriculum.
Absolutely. It's very important.
So what have you been up to?
Well, I saw my mom this weekend.
How's she doing?
She's doing wonderful.
That's good. I'm glad.
She said to say hello.
Oh, thank you.
She always watches all the episodes, obviously. She's a big fan.
Hello, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Gosh, I missed the farmer's market because I was
know,
home.
You keep missing it.
I'm really bummed, but however, I was in Adams Park this weekend. I got an ice cream cone over at that little ice cream place.
Yeah. Jimmy's.
There. Yep.
Yeah.
Loved that place.
What we did, we had a movie last week. I think I told you about that.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So that's going to be something else that they're adding. But you know who played down at Adams Park for the concert series was Dr. X and
Mancini?
No, I wish it was Bird Mancini. They did their show 2 weeks ago, and
Oh,
it was
that's right.
it was fabulous. Willie T and Dr. X, two guys on guitar, a guy on guitar, guy playing congas and percussion and stuff. They did this kind of rocky jazz type of thing. It was great. Vocals, a lot of singing. So that was a great gig. We had a lot of fun with that.
Well, I'm definitely going to be there this weekend.
Please come down and say hello.
Absolutely.
I'm the sound engineer down there, so if you want to come by and say hello, please, by all means, let us know that you're tuning in or finding us as you search across the channels, and let us know what you think of the job we're doing here.
It's such a great farmers market.
It is.
Boston Main Street does such a good job of
Well, Boston
putting it
Main
together.
Street is one of our partners here at It's All About Arts and at BNN-TV, and we're very, very proud of our affiliation with them. They're that volunteer organization that helps to revitalize business districts around the city. There's about 20, 22, 23 of them now, and what they do, 30 years ago, we're celebrating 30 years of the Boston Main Streets program.
I can't believe that. That's crazy.
It's really an incredible organization. What they do is they work with the property owners with empty storefronts, so they make sure they have their right demographics so they can put, the most prosperous business down there. Not another
What the community
not another
needs.
nail place next to the
I do my own, thank you.
next to another nail place or another nail place, so and then they work with the business people once they're in there to make sure that they can get their design stuff all lined up and really cool things. And then they run farmers markets like the one in Rosie Square.
Community events.
Yeah, bringing people down to make sure that they get a chance to check out what the square is doing.
Absolutely. It's awesome.
I got an email. Someone said, "How do you pick your Val's views?"
No
They've
kidding.
been following you in the paper,
Okay.
and I think that in the city paper, but they didn't realize that. And then I guess they saw a show or went to the YouTube page and saw one of our shows and said that they were interested in how you collect your topics to do your thing. And is there a process where people can send things?
Well, absolutely. I mean, people are more than welcome to send stuff to message us on Facebook at It's All About Arts.
We have a great Facebook page. It's
We
all
do
about
have a great
us. Yes.
Facebook page. I usually troll through the Boston calendar is a great website.
Yeah, Boston Globe calendar.
No, just the Boston calendar.
Okay, yeah.
Great website, and I try to find something that pops out to me, something that seems unique and that I would want to go to and that I want to share with other people.
Right.
I try to switch it up a little bit, maybe music one week, maybe visual arts next week, maybe a play the next week, but always...
So it's okay for people to say, I've got this, my organization is doing an event and I'm affiliated with blah, blah, blah,
Absolutely.
would like to get... It's not necessarily, we like to think of it as less of publicity as more of a reporting of what's happening.
Yeah, of course.
So we're really not promoting events as much as we are making sure that people are culturally aware of what's happening in the city.
We're sharing. Sharing is caring.
Yes, sharing is absolutely caring.
But I've had a couple of friends that had open studios coming up, and they
Yeah.
say, "Hey, do you mind, letting people know that we have these great artists
Good.
that are going to be showing this weekend?" And I love doing that. Artists helping artists.
I'm glad it's working out. You're still enjoying it?
Oh, I love it.
Good, I'm glad.
It's great.
One of the things that I like to talk a little bit about always is this incredible building that we're in. BNN-TV is Boston Neighborhood Network. What it is it's Boston's version of cable access.
Yes.
100 years ago, Congress decided that the people needed a voice. They needed to have someplace where they could go and get on the airways and rah, 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 do whatever they wanted to do. Talk about their nonprofit, talk about things in their community. Just learn how to make television. And there's two sides of BNN here. The side that you're watching right now is news and information. And what happens here is nonprofits get to come on and talk a little bit about what their mission is. They get to invite guests in to talk about what it is that they're trying to accomplish for their community. This is the place where you can do that. If you're interested in doing something like that, if you go to bnntv.org and click on Janice Williams and
Or Jim Atwood.
Jim Atwood's name, those are the two cats that have all the information that you'll need to become a member and to get your stuff on the air. The other side is a very, very exciting side. It's called Access TV. Now, on Access side of the channel, which is channel 23, Should we have them go check 23? What do you think? Okay, no, we don't want them to go check 23 today? Okay. What they do is, over there, is you become a member, and it's a small fee, and what you do is, for the year, you get to take courses in Final Cut Pro, you get to take lighting courses, how to use these amazing cameras, how to host a show, how to do sound, how to, then you sign out incredible cameras, incredible audio work, audio stuff, equipment, and go and shoot your own thing. Bring it back here to the Timothy Smith Lab down on the first floor and edit your show, and then they put it on TV.
Yeah. That's awesome, the resources they have down there.
Yes, it's incredible. Do you know what the Timothy Smith Network is? Timothy Smith Network is a group of people, years ago, almost 100 years ago, a gentleman by the name of Timothy Smith decided that he was going to leave an endowment for people. Now, this is a forward-thinking guy, if you can think about it. Back in 1920 or something, where technology was in its infancy, where he said that he wanted to leave money in a certain section of the city where computers or technology equipment could be available for people to use, just walk in and use, and be able to learn how to do that. As the years went along and as computers came along and all that other stuff, it began to grow, and now what he's doing, what his organization is doing, is going around to, there's a couple of boys and girls clubs they do it at, there's BNN-TV where they go, and every 3 or 4 years they come in and upgrade all of the computers in a specific lab. I think there's 15 of them downstairs.
Oh, they're beautiful computers.
At the Boys and Girls Club, I have 17 amazing computers where my kids can come in from after school, or the kids that are at the camp during the summer, and learn technology.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that kind of thing is available here for people. So it's kind of like a really cool thing. We really appreciate we appreciate that they have worked with BNN-TV as long as they have.
Yes. Absolutely.
We've got a huge show.
We have a great show.
Yeah, so we don't get to spend as much time together tonight.
Well, next Monday.
Okay. Let's kick a couple people out next week and we'll just spend the whole day.
Talk about our art.
Yeah, talk about our art. Well, listen again, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and Val's View's coming up, of course. And listen, thank you so much for the emails and stuff with your thoughts of how the show is going. We really appreciate everything that you're doing. People right now in Paris, it's midnight. Thank you for tuning in Paris. We stream live all over the world. People can go to www.bnntv.org, click on what's playing now, and Val and I will show up. So if you have somebody in another part of the world that you think should check in and see what's going on artfully in the city of Boston, this is the place to come and check it out.
Yep, bnntv.org.
Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Listen, gang, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Please don't go away. You're watching BNN-TV's It's All About Arts. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back to Studio B, gang. Thanks an awful lot for staying with us. I do want to remind you that if you want to see this show, we've got all the bugs worked out of it and stuff. This show will be up and showing on our YouTube station sometime this time tomorrow night. If you go to YouTube, you go to your YouTube channel and put in It's All About Arts and the number 1, you'll be able to see all of the programming that we've been doing over the years, and there's some old favorites being put up there as we speak, which are kind of exciting. And please like our Facebook page. It's All About Arts. That's it. It's All About Arts on Facebook page. You can really get everything. It's not just about this show. It is all about arts, you know. But right now, it's my great pleasure and honor to shoot it over to the lovely Valerie Eliason. Hello, Val.
Hello, Glenn, and thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. So today on Val's View, we have a couple great things coming up in the area of Boston and surrounding little towns and neighborhoods. So first on the list, we have Open Gardens. Now that's going on at the Fenway Victory Gardens. They're all over the city. There's, I think, about 25 different Fenway Victory Gardens. It's going on Saturday, July 25th from 2 to 5 p.m. In case of rain or in case of really extreme hot temperatures, there will be a rain date the very next day. So the Victory Gardens are going to be opening their gates and parks to visitors, which you don't normally get to do. So you get to explore lots of beautiful botanical wonders, vegetable gardens, fruit trees, lots of really, really great stuff that you wouldn't normally see around the city because it is private. So you can have a picnic there in the meadow. You can go and play bocce with the kiddos. It's going to be a lot of fun though, so definitely go check it out. Best of all, it's free. You could pick up your map at the corner of Boylston and Park and let the exploring begin. So definitely a fun event for the whole family. Second on our list, we have the Cambridge Jazz Festival. This is, I think, a tradition that's been going on for a long time, decades maybe even, but I know it's been going on for a while. It's going on at the University Park Common, so anyone who's a music lover, especially a jazz lover, you definitely got to check it out. It's a free festival. It is a community-sponsored event that's sponsored by the universities and businesses in the area. The event draws loads and loads of nationally acclaimed musicians from all over the place. And this year they happen to be celebrating Billie Holiday, so it's a special celebration to go check out. So head on down, maybe bring a drink or grab a drink at a local bar, bring some snacks, and check out the amazing music. Third on our list, we have the Roaring Twenties Lawn Party, and if you're wondering if that's a picture of me, it is. This is because I went to it a couple years ago with some of my friends, and if I could recommend one event to do this summer, it would be to go to this. It's like being in the Great Gatsby movie. It's incredible. It's at Crane Estate in Ipswich, so it's a tiny bit of a hike. I think it's about 45 minutes. It's going on Sunday, August 2nd from 3 to 8 p.m. You definitely want to make sure you get there early because it packs up so fast. And everyone's in costume. Everyone's in their 1920s sort of swag and dresses, and it's awesome. There's swing dancing lessons. There's swing dancing for the people who actually know how to swing dance. There's a big band playing. There's a vintage market, picnics. It's incredible. Not to mention the venue is unlike anything I've ever seen. It's just this gorgeous, gorgeous estate and these rolling hills that go down to the ocean. So definitely if you get a chance to travel up there, go check it out. You can buy tickets online, so make sure I check out their Facebook page. It's the Roaring Twenties Lawn Party. It's put on by Boston Swing Central. So hope you get to check some of those great events that are going on. I can't believe we're already talking about events going into August. I feel like the summer's flying by already. But it's always my pleasure and privilege to bring to you the fun things that are going on around the city of Boston. But without further ado, I'm going to throw it back over to Glenn to introduce our first very interesting guest. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Valerie. If anybody's a Gatsby, you are. That's great. Listen, gang, once again, don't forget you can check this show out tomorrow night about this time on our YouTube station. But right now, it's my great, great pleasure and honor to introduce you to Dr. Nick Capasso. Hello, sir. How are you?
Glenn,
It's
thanks
good
for
to see you.
having
Thank
me.
you so much for coming in.
Oh.
I really, really do appreciate it.
My pleasure.
You are the director of the Fitchburg Art Museum.
That's right.
Thank you very much. How long have you been doing that, Nick?
I've been there 2.5 years now.
2.5 years.
Fitchburg.
How did you come to the museum? Now you have a great past. Before that, you were.
Before that, I was a curator at the Decortiva Sculpture Park and Museum in Lincoln, Massachusetts.
What an amazing
Yeah,
place.
that's a beautiful, beautiful place.
It's one of my favorite rides to go out there and check that place out every now and then. But tell me about the Fitchburg Art Museum. What's going on there? What are
Well,
some
if
of
you
the
go
exciting
further
things?
down Route 2,
If you keep going.
past Lincoln, it's about an hour. We are the museum for the city of Fitchburg in north central Massachusetts. We're one of the largest cultural attractions in the region. We've been open to the public since 1929.
Congratulations.
So we have a long history. We're actually bigger than you'd expect. We've got about 20,000 square feet of gallery
Wow.
space.
That's great.
Yeah, and we have a permanent collection that ranges from ancient Egypt to the present, but our real strengths are American art, African art, and photography.
Oh, really?
And in addition to that, we've started a program of showing contemporary New England artists.
Oh, that's great.
Changing exhibitions of work by artists from the 6 New England states.
Now, as the director, are you finding it easy to step back from your curating job? Curating,
Actually, you know,
or do you wander through some galleries and go, oh, wait a minute, no.
Well, a lot of people asked me when I took this job, they said, gee, aren't you going to miss being a curator? And I said, you know what, I've been a curator for like 18 years. I'd like to go do something else now for a while.
Well, there's more than just hanging paintings on a wall
Oh,
for
yeah,
a curator.
no,
I mean, a
that's
curator
right.
has many, many responsibilities.
That's right.
But
That's
hanging
right.
on the wall is always fun.
And we have a great curator,
Yeah,
Mary Tinty, and I leave the curating to her, and she lets me run the museum.
Well, you've got
otherwise.
plenty to do. I can
Oh,
only
yeah, we're
imagine.
busy.
Is there a membership there?
Yeah.
There is
Yeah, we
people
have
can join?
individual and family members.
Oh,
We
great,
have about
great.
700 members. We also have a corporate membership program.
That's great.
So we get some support from the local corporate community.
What's the website if people wanted to join?
Fitchburgartmuseum.org.
Well, it's nice that you were able to get that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's kind of
And you can
important.
follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We've got a great Facebook page.
Excellent. Is there a music element?
Currently, not so much. We've really been concentrating since I got there on sort of waking the place up and more importantly, making it better serve the community.
Okay.
We would like to do, sister arts. We've done a little theater.
Nice.
In the
You have a
museum.
theater? You have a theater
Well,
on campus?
it's been very informal. It's been
Okay.
very informal. We don't have a proscenium stage or a
Right,
black
right,
box or
right,
anything
right.
like that. But we do have a facility that we can use for theater. We have music at all our opening receptions and events. We haven't explored a music program quite yet, but
Right.
we're thinking about it.
I'm thinking about maybe, someone with a beautiful guitar sitting in the corner singing songs.
Just like on a Sunday afternoon.
Sipping on your espresso. Is there an education aspect to it? Are you partnering with any of the schools maybe, or is this something where our
Yes.
younger citizens can get in there and kind of get the idea?
We do a lot with kids and students. So we work with the Fitchburg Public Schools and the Leominster Public Schools.
Excellent.
Leominster's our public city. It's right next door.
Excellent.
And we arrange for the bus transportation to bring kids in.
Excellent.
Because the schools don't have the budget for it.
I know.
So we write the grants. If we want the kids to come, it's our responsibility to get them to come.
That's
And that's
excellent.
what we've been doing. We also have a really strong relationship with Fitchburg State University, and we work with their students on lots of projects.
That's great.
And all the kids in the public schools, all the kids at Fitchburg State, and the faculty and the staff come to the museum for free. We have
Oh.
a free admission program for all those folks.
That's great.
And then in addition to that, we have classes and workshops at the museum, and you can get all the information on the website. And in the museum itself, we have these things we call learning lounges. So there are 3 different areas in the museum that are set up with educational activities for families and kids. Some
Nice.
hands-on stuff, some
Nice.
art-making stuff, some behind-the-scenes things.
Excellent.
And every time the exhibition changes, the content of those learning lounges changes too. So if you have a kid who likes art activities, you can keep busy all afternoon.
Yeah, I'm sure that
afternoon.
I'm sure that it's a bustling place, and thank you for kind of breathing life into it.
Oh, well,
you know,
it's
I'm
my
not saying
pleasure.
that there wasn't life in the past, but it's always nice to have a fresh face come in there and say, you know, we're going to turn these lights up a little.
That's
We're going to do this.
The changing of the guard is all about. It's
Yeah.
about, you know, a refresh, a reboot.
And 2 years isn't a long time. Are you feeling some success?
Yeah, we've made a lot of progress.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
I understand we do have a visual kind of tour that you're going to talk us through.
Yeah, I've
for
got some pictures.
A couple of pictures there.
This is the Fitchburg Art Museum. Actually, it's only part of it because you can't get the whole thing in one picture. We actually have 5 buildings across an entire city block.
Yep.
And what we can see here on the right of the screen is the original museum building, which was originally a barn built in the 1880s and transformed into an art center in the 1920s.
Nice.
And then towards the left of the picture is our new wing that was added in 1989. And then there are a few other buildings on the periphery. You just can't see them because
So it's a big place. There's lots of things to do.
it takes up an entire city block.
Excellent.
And what you'll see when you come inside...
what a beautiful gallery.
Thank you. Photography.
Yeah.
We have a very strong photography collection. In fact, it's so good that last year a professor at Fitchburg State taught the history of photography right out of our galleries.
Oh, that's super.
So we're really proud of that. We have a great African art collection. And the really cool thing about our African art collection is that not only do we have the traditional tribal arts, but we also have examples of artwork that's being made today across the globe that honors and perpetuates that tradition.
That's great.
So we bring together the past and the present all in the same gallery. We also have American art. This is a gallery that's dedicated to our founder. We were founded by an American painter named Eleanor Norcross. And we have a whole gallery devoted to her work and to her vision for the museum, which was to bring together treasures of art and design for the benefit of the people who worked in the mills and their families. Because Fitchburg was a big mill city in the 19th century.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
We've also,
now you're talking.
This is one of our recent contemporary shows. We've taken on the exciting project of offering an ongoing series of contemporary shows devoted to artists in New England. And what we're looking at here, this is the work by Boston artist named Natalie Miebach. And it was part of a show that was up over the summer or up over the spring called Nature Tech. And everything that you see in this picture, every last little bit is based on a data point.
Oh, really?
She brings together art and science.
Sounds like a STEM.
No, STEAM.
STEAM, I'm sorry.
STEAM.
No
more STEM, it's all
STEAM.
STEAM.
I think I need to be out of this somehow. I misspoke, believe me.
This is one of our learning lounges that I'd been talking about.
Yes, okay, this is very important,
Yep, these are kids doing some of the learning activities associated with the Nature Tech show.
Beautiful.
And I was talking about serving the community a little better. So what we see here, this is our community gallery. So this space is devoted to shows that they're not organized by the art museum. They're organized by local schools, local community groups, and local artist organizations.
What a thrill that local artists have a space to hang their work.
And it's the place where we can say yes.
That's great.
If you want to have a show, the answer is yes, and we'll sign you up today. The reason we're looking at this image, you can see the sign on the outside of the museum. You'll notice it's in English and in Spanish.
Yes.
We're the first art museum in New England to go bilingual.
Thank you.
Because 40% of the people in our city speak Spanish at home. 55% of the kids in our city, in our public schools, come from homes where they speak Spanish at home.
Excellent.
And if we can't speak to these folks in their own language, we're not serving them.
Well, you're not communicating.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Now, did you ship this over from the other museum?
No, because the other museum didn't need it as much as Fitchburg does.
Well, okay,
Right?
I hear that.
Right?
Okay, no, you're right.
We're also doing public art in the city as a community service to spruce up Main Street. And all of this has a community aspect to it. So the image here, this is Nora Valdez, who's a Boston artist.
Okay.
And she created for Fitchburg, this is called The Immigrant. It's a monument to all the different waves of immigrant communities who have come to Fitchburg since the beginning of its history. And Fitchburg is a city that has been built by immigrants.
That's great.
And I'm proud to say that there's only one other city in the United States that has a memorial to all its immigrants, and that's Baltimore.
You guys are doing it right. I think we have time for one more. What is this? This is a beautiful
This
mural.
is a beautiful mural by Cambridge artist Caleb Nealon.
Oh,
You know Caleb?
Yes.
And this is on the side of a nonprofit organization called the Arc of Opportunity, and they serve adults with developmental disabilities.
Yeah.
And they wanted a mural for the side of their building. They had a big ugly wall there. They wanted to spruce
Not
it up.
anymore.
And they wanted a mural that their clients could help paint. And that's why we chose Caleb, because you see all those dots in the mural?
Yep.
It's one squirt of spray paint.
That's
You can
amazing.
teach just about anybody to do that.
but he's amazing.
Oh, Caleb's great.
Come on, it's amazing.
He's great.
Is there a Dr. Nick? Are you an artist?
I am not. I
I was
trained
wondering if
as
there
an
was
art
maybe
historian.
a small Dr. Nick gallery
No
someplace
gallery.
in the corner.
What I tell people is that if I could be an artist, I wouldn't have to do this. And I mean it.
I want to thank you so much
Oh.
for coming and spending a few
Thank
moments
you.
with us. It's an amazing museum. It's got rich history, and I think that with your leadership, that it can only go onward and upward.
Thank you. And the last thing I want to say
Yeah.
is it's worth the drive.
Oh, there's no question about it. No, it's worth the drive anyways. Give us that website one more time. We're going to hook it up to your. We're going to put your website next to your name on the website, on our
Great,
website.
and I'll distribute your YouTube channel. How's that?
thank you
It's a
very
deal.
much.
FitchburgArtMuseum.org.
That's
Thanks,
beautiful.
Glenn.
Thank you, Nick, for being here. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Listen, gang, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to go right to our next guest. Please hang in there. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Well, welcome back, gang. Thanks for hanging in there with us. Boy, I'll tell you, you say it's worth the drive, but it's really not that far from outside of the city of Boston. Just jump on to and get out there and check it out. I mean, the Fitchburg Art Museum sounds like a really happening place to be. And but right now, it's my great pleasure and honor to introduce or bring back and say hello to old friend Diana Nicosia, right?
Yes.
I did it.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much for coming in. I appreciate you spending some time with us this evening. It's really, really important. If you had to categorize and put into, if there was a drop-down menu on your website, and you had to nail the kind of artist you were, what a horrible question, isn't
Okay,
it?
thanks.
What would you pick?
Well, an artist is always evolving.
Yes.
I paint in oils primarily,
Yeah.
but I brought tonight some encaustics.
Beautiful work.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm thrilled about the kind of encaustic. Tell me what, for us lay people who have no idea what you're talking about, explain a little bit about what the process of encaustic painting is.
I lay it in with oil paint, a sketch, and the composition. And then I start scribbling and scratching it off, and I
Okay.
use 30% wax suspended in the oil paint. And there's a connection with this type of painting to graffiti.
Okay.
Because graffiti comes from the word graffiato.
Okay.
And that means scribbling and scratching.
Yeah, yeah.
And eventually I'll do some landscapes that have words in it, scribbled in, scratched off. But these are inspired by Livia Drusilla's, the Empress of Rome, the first Empress of Rome, her frescoes.
It's beautiful. How long of a process is it to paint like this?
That is at least a month or longer.
month?
Yes, and there's about 15 layers of paint with the wax.
Are you able to work on more than one piece at a time?
Yes, a few.
Yeah?
A few. And then
Yeah.
it takes a while. It's longer for those to dry in between.
Yeah.
And I work on an easel for
I'm touching
composition.
it. I don't
you may.
believe it.
You can just go like that and feel the wax.
Yeah.
If you want it smooth. And then I use a palette knife.
Okay.
For scratching.
Is the paint oil or acrylic?
Oil.
It
Always
is
oil.
always oil? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And this is cold wax. There's a hot wax, but I have a pet, so I don't want third degree.
No
burns.
cooking the pet. We love our pets. So what's going on? How's everything going? What's up?
Wonderful,
What's new and
wonderful.
exciting?
Well,
Besides this is
Yep.
amazing.
So that's been published by the Italian Cultural Institute in
Yeah.
Washington, D.C.
Very, very
and,
cool. This is
they
very-
wrote the introduction, and the cover is right here of that brochure.
The cover of the brochure is right over here. Yeah. Someone will grab that. There it is. There it is.
So I spent about 4 years off and on, poor me, working in Rome.
Yeah.
And then going back. So
When were you last in Rome?
September.
September?
And I'm going back in September.
That's
And
great.
I'm going to be visiting Rome, Naples, Pompeii, and Capri because I'm writing, I've written a book that's going to be published at the end of August.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And it's called?
The Caravaggio Contract. And it's based on a true art mystery. Caravaggio, when he died in 1610, a painting went missing, commissioned by the Pope, a Borgia Pope. And then it jumps to 1985, and it's drugs, the Camorra, the Knights of Malta.
You've got everything. Suspense, intrigue.
And I hope to have the book launch.
How was the writing process for you?
It was a lot of research.
Yeah.
And it started from a writer's workshop at the St. Botolph Club
Yeah.
on Commonwealth.
Okay.
And that took years. I started writing it in 2009.
Wow, really? So
Often.
it's a work of love then.
Yes.
Something that you're very, very
Yes.
passionate about.
Yes.
Are you showing any place that we can come and see some of your work?
Well, the launch of the book will be at Axel Fine Arts on Newbury Street.
Oh, very nice.
Very
Nice
near,
place.
Very near Exeter.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be launching it, I believe, in October. We don't have a date yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll have a few of these encaustics there.
Yeah.
And then the
And
cover.
some of your other oil work be
Yes.
here as well? That's
Yep.
good.
And then the book.
But
it's
of
really
course,
a book launch.
will you be signing some copies?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you still with Canvas Fine Arts?
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
Yeah. How's everything going over there with the great people of Canvas Fine
It's
Arts?
growing like leaps
I know.
and bounds.
It really is.
Yep.
Suzanne Schultz is
Yes.
doing a great job
Yes.
over there. When you're painting, do you set yourself with an atmosphere? Do you have a dedicated space to work in?
Yes, I have a working studio in the
Mm-hmm.
South End, and then also one in Florida.
Oh, okay. Now, when you're working, do you have what the Talking Heads on the radio, or some Mozart playing, or how do you set up your mood?
I listen to Hotel Costas a lot, and then
really?
classical
Yeah.
also.
Okay.
And it depends, but sometimes there's no music at all because I
Silence.
just get into.
Yeah.
It's a Zen moment.
That's good. That's good. Do you find you have to reinvent that atmosphere when you return to a painting?
Perhaps
Yeah.
it depends
Just
on.
depending on what you're
Right.
working on?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you
or
know what-
where the painting is?
Right. Can you see the end result of the painting when you're working in caustic?
Yes.
You can.
Yes.
So it's not
Yeah.
an adventure
It's
as
in-
much as it is a creation.
Yes, and
Okay.
it's an odyssey doing it. And
Well, I've talked to other artists who do this. They say sometimes it's a little bit of an adventure for them because they're not really quite sure what's going to happen as they lay that palette knife down or as they start removing some of the wax. But
well, it's a tightrope. It's that risk.
Yeah.
I think that's why we do it.
are there piles of canvases that just didn't quite...
That are knifed through. Yes.
With big rips in them?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
terrible. Although that's good. No, you
You
know
have
what
to.
you want. You know,
You
you
have to
have
do
to
that.
you have to know when it's time to quit and when it's time to start up anew.
Yes.
Well, this is very, 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 very exciting. Tell me again when the books. You're already booking the signing, and it's done, right?
Yes,
the book
we're
is finished.
we're finalizing the cover design now and the back.
Okay.
So then
Who's writing the forward for you?
there isn't. You mean like the back? I don't have anyone.
Oh, really?
Well, perhaps.
I see.
Perhaps.
Perhaps we'll see.
Okay.
We'll talk. We'll have tea.
That'd be great. Okay. Or a cappuccino?
Yes, or a cap.
No, I'm
No
teasing you.
cappuccino.
I'm teasing you.
At least you're paying attention. Thank you.
I drink espresso myself.
Yes. It's very, very exciting. Congratulations, number one, on the book, on getting to that point where it's finished. I know what those journeys can be like. It can be frustrating, it can be rewarding, but nothing feels, when you get to the end of something that you've put your passion and emotions into, when it's finished, it's like a birth, and it's great.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations
That's very kind.
on that. Anything in the future besides, what are you going to do, change something up now in September when you go to Rome? You're going to start
Yes.
sculpting or something silly?
I've asked for introductions by the Italian Cultural Institute to private gardens of Rome and in Capri.
You're amazing.
So they're private, and then I'll spend at least 4 years on that, and then reading the history.
That's great.
There's so much history.
Yeah, you just don't put an easel up with a piece of canvas and start painting. You need to invest yourself.
Yes.
And your work shows that, and it's really, really great stuff. Can you come back again?
I would be delighted. It's an honor.
Especially before you fly out.
I would love to.
How long will you be overseas?
Oh, just 2 weeks.
Oh,
2 weeks
well,
at
then
a
maybe
time.
when you come back, let's have you right back then, so you
Okay,
can tell us
that'd be
how
great.
everything went.
Okay, I just want to say something about public education.
Please, yes. It's
In my
part of our thing.
senior year at Linfield High School,
Mm-hmm.
I won a merit scholarship to Mass College of Art. And I took public transportation in every Saturday.
Excellent.
And then I went on and graduated from Wheaton College, and
Mm-hmm.
then I went on to another private
Yeah.
art school. But it really came from the public school.
Yes, that's where it should begin.
So I commend you. And,
That's where it should
And how
begin.
you're trying to get little children involved.
They're all artists. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
being
Glenn.
here. I appreciate seeing you. Listen, gang, we'll be back in just a couple of seconds. We got another great guest. We're going to be talking about jewelry. Please don't go away. Tick, tick, tick. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Different view, dream come true. Bolts of lightning from the blue. It's upside down, it turns around. Still this rock and roll fits you.
Thank you for coming back with us, gang. Listen, I want a big shout out to the staff here at BNN for helping us out with this program tonight. We've got it packed up with stuff, and they've done great work with us tonight. It's really, really great. But it's my great pleasure and honor, please, to introduce you to Jessica Ricci.
Ricci, yes.
Ricci, hello, Jessica. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Val. How are you? Welcome back. Thank you for being here. I think I know where Val gets some of her jewelry from.
Well, I do
lovely.
now, yes.
Are you? You're a jeweler?
Yes, I'm a jewelry designer.
Is there a difference between a jeweler and a jewelry designer?
Well, not really, actually. I create all the jewelry. I make everything from a lost wax process in my studio.
Explain that. I don't know what that is.
Well, lost wax is a technique that people have been using since Etruscan times and in Egyptian times, very, very long time ago. And it's the process by which you take wax and you transform it into metal.
Okay.
So that's the process I use, and I create all my wax. I sculpt the wax in my studio in Providence, Rhode Island, and then I get everything cast in Rhode Island, and then I do all the finishing at my studio as well.
Okay, this is beautiful work.
Thank you.
I want to make sure. Yeah, there you go. You got a nice shot. If I can zoom in there. Look at this ring. This ring is beautiful.
Did
Thank you.
notice,
Yes, and
lovely
Val's
ring
wearing some work.
that you're
Yes.
wearing? No, a lot of the stuff that you have is inspired by all the traveling that you do. I like these lace pieces are incredible. Now, where did you get inspired by the lace?
Well, actually, what I do is I go to different countries and I go to flea markets or antique spots.
That's awesome.
And I find culturally significant objects like old lace or old prayer cards or coins and
wow.
keys. And then through this lost wax process, I create molds and then I make wax versions of them and then I sculpt them and rework them into jewelry. So that's
Amazing.
actually antique lace from Paris
This
that
is
I
incredible.
cast and then sculpted into the necklace.
It's gorgeous. I love this ring too. I don't know if you can zoom in on it or not, but it's I love it. It's so pretty.
Thank you.
And to think of it as like it's a sculpture of lace is it's so beautiful.
It's very delicate.
you.
It's- Well, it's actually not as delicate as it looks, is it?
Well, that's a long process of building up the wax and painting the wax on. It takes a long time, but the final product I feel like is definitely worth it.
Right. Is designing jewelry something that you've kind of always been doing?
No, I was supposed to be a journalist.
Ah,
Yes, I was. And then I moved to Italy and decided I was going to.
all these people traveling.
I know, it sounds really awful.
I
doesn't it?
was in New Hampshire today.
Yeah. Well, this is way back then. This is a decade ago, so I don't need. So this is, the fun's over. But I, after I graduated, I got my master's in journalism, and I decided I wanted to move to Europe, and I was going to be some sort of foreign correspondent. And so I taught English instead.
Cool.
And yes, and then I started visiting all the flea markets in Rome, and I became really obsessed with finding these old kind of tossed away objects. And I thought it would be really amazing if I were able to capture these old things that meant so much to people and honor them in some way. And I thought, wouldn't it be amazing to transform them into jewelry?
Very cool.
So then I, through a series of kind of continuing education type of classes.
So you took some classes to do this,
In
or is there a
Rome,
lot of trial and error, or did you?
Tons of trial and error.
Yeah, yeah.
But I took, a lot of error.
Are these the only pieces you have?
I know, you can't even imagine once you begin, you cannot stop.
Yes.
What I did was I took basically a continuing ed class
Yeah,
in the basement of some medieval church in Rome.
Yeah.
All in Italian. I'm sure I missed half of it. And just started me off to this lost wax process.
Right.
And then from there I moved back to the United States, and then I honed the skill myself and figured out how to do
Well,
it.
you caught on enough to get some really, really beautiful effects here with
Thank
a
you.
lot of this work. How do people get in touch with you? Because I know someone at home is saying, ask her where we can get some of this.
Well, we have a very strong online presence. It's
Okay.
JessicaRicciJewelry.com.
Okay.
And we also have a showroom right in downtown Providence.
Oh, where?
On 76 Dorrance Street.
Make sure you say that again before we're done.
76 Dorrance Street. And I also teach some classes, and we try to make it really fun in there for people to come by.
Now, you're teaching, are people coming to learn this wax
Yes.
kind of process?
Yes, and I really urge people to come and try it out because I had no art background. I can't draw a straight line. I'm not kidding. You can test me. I can't.
I'm going to interrupt you, but journalism and writing is incredible art.
Well, it's different in terms of fine art. I really can't draw a picture. I never thought I was artistic in that way. And I always tell people, you can make jewelry, you really can. So I encourage people to come over and I teach them the lost wax, just as I did. So.
Now, is it possible for somebody to say, look, I need something that is like this, where you're kind of saying that you're not restoring, but preserving something of value or something of sentimental value or something historically relevant to somebody?
Yes.
Can they come to you and say, look, I'd like you to try and do something with this?
Yes, I actually would love to work with people in that way because I know that these things are from people who I don't even know and they mean so much to me. These are old, castaway objects. And I love the idea of someone bringing something that's really dear to them and showing them the process and how to transform it. So I'd be more than happy to help someone through that whole process.
Now, I envision you on Sunday mornings traveling around to people's yard sales. Is this something you still do?
You know what? I systematically go to European or Asian or Africa. I go to different countries, and I
You go yard sailing across the sea.
every major city generally has some sort of really interesting flea market that collects all these things. So I'll find where that is, and then I basically spend hours going through old boxes, and my hands are filthy, and you know, it's really fun.
But if somebody does have an artifact that they'd like to wear,
yes,
at some point, this is something that they would go to Jessica Ricci
Jewelry.com, and then you just contact me through my email, and I would definitely be happy to help someone through that.
Now, you started this little, we were talking before, it's like a little charms, essentially, that you're making as
like
a
these,
represent.
that's what
it's
these
like
are.
these, like a representation from different countries, which I thought was an incredible idea, especially the way you've done them. Like, where are these different ones from?
So the idea is that every time I go to a different country, I create kind of a charm bead. We're calling them travel beads.
Okay.
And there's an open-ended chain, and you string it on. So you have one, like this key from Tibet that I made into a bead. And this is key from Paris and India and Buenos Aires and Rome. And the idea is that you can either have one charm, or you can pile them on and have a nice big neck full of them like I do.
Or start adding things
as I go, or some people want everything Italian, so you'd have all the beads from Italy, or some people want something spiritual and have a lot of like Buddha amulets or prayer cards and stuff like that. So I love the idea of people participating in the process of creating their own jewelry that has some form of sentimentality to them.
It has an incredible form of sentiment. I love it.
It's so personalized.
So special.
It makes what you're wearing so personalized.
That's the
great.
intention.
What's the address again in
It's
Providence?
at 76 Dorrance. Next month, we're also going to have a lot of stuff in Flaunt RI. It's a store in Rhode Island that we love, and the owner's a dear friend. And Shop Pioneer, who's another fabulous store in Rhode
But
Island.
all this information is on your website,
Yes, it will
right?
be
So
on the
we're going to be
website.
directing people to that.
Okay, Jessica Ricci Jewelry.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming
so
in.
much.
Will you come back again
Absolutely.
someday? I really do. I really appreciate you being
Yes,
here.
thank you.
They're yelling at me from the other
Oh,
room.
okay.
We're running out of time. Not really. David's been doing great. Jessica, thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
spending
much.
some time with us. I really do appreciate it. Would love to have you back again.
And we have all your stuff up on. I already posted all the link up on the Facebook page.
We'll make sure everybody knows all about it. Thanks, Val.
Thanks, Glenn.
Okay, listen, gang, thanks an awful lot for being here. We really appreciate it. Get out there and do something artful for yourself. Go to the Boston paper, check out Val's View, and attend some of those cool things that she keeps talking about. And listen, like we like to say every week on our program at the end of the show, please keep in the forefront of your minds our mothers, fathers, sons and daughters, aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews on foreign soil. Please do something artful, do it for them. We'll see you next week. Thank you. Take care. Thank you, everybody. Listen, good night.
Good
We'll
night.
see you. Bye-bye.